Sports Blitz Live is on the air with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown, Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown!
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. Welcome into this, the latest edition of Sports Blitz Live. I am Andy Graham alongside Luke Robinson. We'll be with you for the next couple of hours, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of sports. We appreciate all of you out there being with us. Got a lot to talk about tonight, as always. Jaden Daniels wins the Heisman Trophy from LSU. You claimed, you said that last week. You said that he would win it. He did, and it was a pretty close vote between him and Penix, but he pulls away. It looked like, and I thought he deserved it, like you said. Running for 1,100 yards and throwing for as many yards as he did. Certainly his was the best numbers for sure. We'll talk about that. We'll kind of recap the Super 7 as it was this past week. Pretty exciting games. Came down to the wire, several of them. Very entertaining games. There were a couple of blowouts, as there always are, but we'll kind of run down those a little bit. Look at some Auburn and Alabama starting out the basketball season. Just, 8, 9 games into this thing, so just getting started here, but maybe what we thought, maybe not what we thought. We'll look at that, the SEC, a little bit as well. I don't think anybody had Arkansas going 6-4 at this point, but
well, and going 6-4, and one of the four isn't a loss to Duke.
Right, yeah. They beat Duke and they lose to some teams you wouldn't expect. But we'll take a look at that. Coaching carousel. We'll have the final standings of our 80s movies bracket tonight.
That's what you all tuned in for.
Absolutely. So
I'm not going to deprive you of that.
And make some predictions on the first bowl games as they will be played before we are with you again next Tuesday. All right, so the Super 7, as it was, you got to call a couple of these games. We'll just start with the bottom and work our way up to the top. But we both thought Coosa Christian would win going away. Leroy gets the win here over Coosa Christian, 28-21.
Yeah, it was a really entertaining game. I think Coosa Christian actually had the lead 7-0, if I remember right. I mean, some of these games begin to run together a little bit, but it was a fun game. It was a good game, and Coosa Christian, they come in with those 5 losses, but really I think they're all forfeits. So both teams were really undefeated, and Leroy gets another title. That's not their first. It won't be their last.
That's about the way it goes, isn't it, with Leroy and some of these smaller schools. And speaking of that, in 2A, Fife gets the win over Reeltown. Thought Reeltown came in. This might be a little bit more competitive game than it was, but Fife, my goodness, they are just.
And they bring just about everybody back.
Yeah.
I think like that bull of a running back who also plays defense, obviously number 24, I believe it was Anderson. I didn't call that game, so I wasn't as knowledgeable about all the players.
What did you just call?
I called 3 and 4.
Okay.
3A and 4A. Well, what we do on this is, basketball you can call like 4 games, and we do that, and it's an all-day thing, and they're stacked back to back. The thing with calling the football games is, number one, I think that Brett and Randy with the AHSAA Radio Network, they got several people who enjoy calling these. And so people want to, they want their shot at calling them because you get to go to either Jordan Hare, Bryant Denny, Progressive. It's a great trip. You get to be in the press box where, you normally aren't. Right. You get to hang out in some great stadiums. You get to see a lot of people. You get to see a lot of great prospects. And so it's a lot better for Brett and Randy do the 6A and the 5A games, which are the night games for Thursday and Friday. They're going to need to figure out to do something, in my opinion. I'm not trying to get off the rails here, but they're going to need to do something with the 7A game on Wednesday night. It deserves more pub. It deserves a better crowd than what it's been getting on these Wednesday nights because Wednesday night is sort of tough for everybody. I mean, I understand, your school may be out or whatever, but, everybody's got to go to work on Thursday. So, I mean, it'd be great to be able to have it on Saturday. The problem with having it Saturday is it's on the same weekend as the SEC championship. So, if Alabama or Auburn's playing in it around here, it's going to be a problem for a lot of people. So, I mean, there may not be a great way to do it. I don't know exactly how to do it. But, maybe they could do the 7A game a week earlier or something because they really get a week and a half off. So they could maybe do it a week earlier and just have its own thing. Or maybe do a couple of classifications on one Saturday and a couple. I don't know. I don't know how they'll do it. But I think it deserves a better crowd than it's been getting. It's they put talent on the field that really deserves it. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Thompson and Phoenix, and it was just a great contest. And, the stars just came out for that game. I mean, you saw Trent Seaborn being a dude, only a freshman. You saw Cam Coleman being a dude. You saw everybody that is Anquan Fagans had a pick and almost had another pick. I mean, these are 4 or 5 star guys that are showing out, and it was fun to watch them.
It definitely was. Going back to 3A, again, I thought Madison Academy was maybe the better team, but apparently not. Mobile Christian runs them out of the stadium, 55-28.
Yeah, Mobile Christian is they're just strong. They had a lot of dudes. They've got a kid from Canada originally on this team. And he's only a junior. He may not be, upper level SEC. I mean, who am I to say? But I'm telling you, he got my attention on the defensive line, and he just was a disruptive force. And I didn't expect him to be as big a deal as he was, but they were a lot of fun to watch, and they were just hard to stop. Madison Academy was, they were facing an uphill battle. I mean, in fact, I think it was 14-0 Mobile Christian, and then Madison Academy came back and tied it at 14. And then I think things got nuts after that with Mobile Christian just really laying the hammer down.
4A Montgomery Catholic finally gets over the hump, gets them a state championship as they shut out, and there was no doubt about it, as they shut out Cherokee County 35-9.
Yeah, in Cherokee County, they probably would have lost anyway. I mean, I'm not trying to, say they couldn't have won, but their quarterback was banged up. I think he's got a torn ACL, then he wasn't going to have surgery on it until after the season. Only a few games left. He was like, let me just go ahead but the problem is, obviously, he's not at 100%. And they just ran the ball all the time. They've got a great running back. But when you just run it, and they only ran it essentially right up the middle every time. And Montgomery Catholic caught on to that pretty quickly and was able to stifle that.
I would hope so.
Yeah. And McCreary, the quarterback for Montgomery Catholic, is really dynamic, very fast, and they've just got a ton of athletes. Montgomery Catholic's going to be one of those schools that you're going to have to contend with. He's committed to Troy, by the way. Maybe not the ultimate size that you want for Power 5 or even Group of 5 football, but he's going to be he's going to be a problem for people at Troy, I think, eventually.
Montgomery Catholic guy like Fife, they got everybody coming back.
No, well, I mean, they do lose the quarterback. They do. I mean, I remember some young guys, but they do. Yeah, they got some people coming back. I mean, a lot of these teams, like Fife, it doesn't matter if they got everybody coming back or not. Their culture, winning is so ingrained in their culture, and football is so ingrained in it, that you can tell these kids, it looks like they're all the same dude out there. Not in a black-white sense, in a sense that just, oh my God, every one of them can tackle. Every one of them can run. Now, none of them are blazers, but all of them are fast, got good football speed. Yeah. They're technically sound. I mean, that's just the way it is across the board.
Isn't it just neat the way they all come to the line and all the hand to the ground at the same time? Yeah. I mean, it's just.
Well, that's look, my old coach Terry Butler back in my little league days. I'll never forget it. We used to, we do down, pat, and I was always on the line. We do down, pat our knee pads, set, get down. Now every now and again we'd mess around and go down, and then we'd go on set. Well, just telling a story on myself one time. We were beating a team pretty good. Terry Butler always had good teams. I mean, because he knew how to draft and he knew what he was doing. He was a good coach. And so we were beating a team pretty good, and I won't name him. People around these parts, especially those my age, would know exactly who I'm talking about. But he was, I think he was tired of getting beat 40-0 or whatever it was. We were playing the Radio Shack Dolphins, I think. Maybe not Radio Shack, something Dolphins. And as soon as we did down, this guy had made up his mind, I'm going to hit whatever's in front of me as hard as I can on down. I don't care. And he did, and I did the dead cockroach. I mean, because we weren't going on down that time. We weren't set that time. We were just going down. And, as soon as I hit my pads, he knocked me backwards. Shoes were flying, everything. I thought my dad was going to come out of the stands to kill him. I mean, it was clearly dirty, but it's also part of football, right? I mean, I look back on it, and I'm like, that's kind of, I mean, you don't want to be dirty, but it's kind of football. I mean, that's when you're frustrated and you're playing football, sometimes you get laid out. You're going to lay somebody out, and he laid me out that night, I can tell you that. That morning, it was a Saturday morning about 9 o'clock, if I remember right. Things were sketchy for about 4 or 5 hours after that, I can tell you this. Right? Yeah. I can tell you this.
I'm sure it wasn't the best equipment.
Oh, God, it's so funny. You bring that up. Again, we're getting off the rails, but this is funny. So a friend of mine that lives up the street, his kid plays in the Mountain Brook League up there. And I said, is that Jack's helmet? And he said, yeah. And I picked it up. First of all, it was really weighty. I looked on the inside. It had like a spider web of pads in there. Just so many pads. And I said, Jack, put this on. He did, and it was like fitting completely snug. And I said, I was laughing with his dad. I was like, I remember clearly, we got hand-me-down everything. Oh, yeah. And the helmets you'd have an ear pad if you're lucky. And you'd have maybe something on either side, maybe. But for the most part, it was just a candy-coated shell that you're wearing on your head.
Oh, yeah.
And the shoulder pads, for the love of God.
Like maybe 2 face masks, bars.
Yeah.
If you were lucky.
Yeah, and the shoulder pads, they're supposed to, be able to snap. They had the old snaps, and the snaps were usually broken. We had the knee pads that were just, completely ed up.
I had a neck brace.
Oh God, that was intimidating, huh? Yeah, you were like one of the old Steelers.
That's right.
But God, I mean, everything we got was hand me down something.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, for them though, you have to every helmet has to be approved. And again, I'm pro this.
Sure.
Because I don't want kids having concussions and growing up like me. But I find it. I'm not trying to be, hey, we had to walk to school uphill in snow both ways. But it was kind of crazy how, and again, we adapted, for the most part, unless somebody laid you out when you're going on down, but whatever.
Yeah. Got to take our first break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back and we'll run down the rest of these in the Super 7 right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama, is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Why don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro continues to excel in making sure our clients have a smooth and pleasant experience with home financing needs. Families are struggling to make ends meet due to price increases and high interest rates on credit cards. Monthly debt can cripple a family from enjoying the special times in life. Property values are holding strong, and now is the time to take advantage of the equity in your home, saving hundreds of dollars a month. No money out of pocket and no payment until January 2024. Call the Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro today.
I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you, just getting started on tonight's show. Brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Wonderful place to have lunch or dinner right here in downtown Alexander City. Great people, great food, great atmosphere there at JR's Sports Bar and Grill. Go and check them out sometime this week if you get a chance. We were talking about the Super 7. We're down to 5A, Gulf Shores and Ramsey. This was a really, really entertaining game. Gulf Shores gets the win 21-14.
It was really impressive. I mean, Gulf Shore, I think they were up 21-0, weren't they?
I think they might have.
And, you know, Ramsey, that they have a good team. QB Reese, linebacker committed to Alabama. He's sort of a thumper. He reminds me a lot of Deshaun Davis. A lot to be happy about with him. But then over on Gulf Shores, they got Ronnie Royal, who everybody's been talking about. I think he was at Alexandria, maybe, and then he transferred over to Gulf Shores. Could have been Andalusia. It's one of those A schools. Yeah. Anywho,
that interception.
That interception was ridiculous. And you know, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but the TV call did not do it justice. It didn't do it justice, and it did do it justice.
I don't know. The guy said that's the greatest interception I've ever seen in my life, ever.
Agreed, except he said it in a very monotone voice. And the more I thought about it, I was like, maybe he was so shocked that he couldn't get excited.
Maybe so.
Because it was ridiculous. He sort of one-handed it backwards.
And he never did.
He never
did.
It was bizarre. And see, I didn't get to see it live, so I could only see Twitter the next day. And the guy said, he said it like this. He said, that was the best interception I've ever seen in my life. And I thought, you know, man, you gotta. That's what I have about Eli Gold. You know, I said this on Locked On Bama a while back because after the Georgia, one of the Georgia calls, and I'm blanking, Alabama Georgia game, SEC championship game, there was a big moment, and I take that back. It was the Iron Bowl. When Isaiah Bond caught the touchdown, Eli Gold said, "It's caught by Isaiah Bond." And I thought, okay, that's good. But, I mean, all I could think in my head was if Chris Stewart had that call, he might have jumped out of the thing, which, again, every now and again, I like that. I don't like every call to be that way, but I like when it's something fabulous, I think you should lose your mind. I mean, I respect Rod Bramlett for the way he's able to make that call on the kick six, because you have to do it on the fly. Nobody expected that, and he did it on the fly, and he did it with a genuine appreciation and excitement while describing the play. It's very difficult to do, and Eli is one of the best there's ever been over a myriad of sports. But there's something about sometimes you just want a fan to say, "Oh, my God, he caught it. Can you believe that?" And that's kind of what I want to hear. But, you know, I'm not trying to critique anybody. I'm just saying when I saw that, the first thing I thought was, boy, that seemed rather understated. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, I think he was just so deadgum shocked that happened that he didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And I get it, because when I watched it, I was like, it looked like it wasn't real. It looked like, you know how people can film something backwards and then show it forwards, and it like you're jumping out of the lake onto the dock?
Right.
And I looked at it. I had to watch it a couple times and go, how did he do that? Now, Ronnie Royal is going to play defensive back at NC State. And look, he might be a little short. He might be a little this. He might be a little that. He might not be fast enough or whatever. Again, it's a lot like, you know, QB Reese. It's a lot like Caleb McCrary at Montgomery Catholic. Yeah, maybe they're missing that one thing that you want out of for an Alabama or Auburn guy or whatever. I think Ronnie Royal is going to be a thing when he gets to NC State. I'm not predicting he's going to be freshman of the year. I'm just saying I think he's going to be one of those dudes that you're like, oh my God, he's a senior, and he's playing there, and he's starting for NC State, and he's second team All-American. Everybody's like, how'd he get out of Alabama? That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree.
We see it a lot.
He's very athletic, for sure. He's got good hands. I know that, for sure.
He's got one good hand. I know that. I don't know about how the other one is.
That's true. 6A, Clay, this was the phenomenal game. Clay Chalkville and Saraland. It came down to the end. It was almost like that Super Bowl with the Titans and the Rams. It came down to the last yard. But Clay Chalkville wins 31-28. Cam Coleman is the real deal.
Well, that's Phoenix City.
That's Phoenix City. This is Ryan Williams. I get them confused. But Ryan Williams, phenomenal.
If you'll let me wax poetic for Ryan Williams just a second. Look, there are two players, and I've seen a lot of good players. I've been calling these games for years now. I mean, probably since 2008, maybe 2007. So I've seen a lot of dudes come through. And I've seen a lot of, Alabama, Mississippi All-Star games. I've seen a lot of dudes in that game. There are two guys that I've seen that have absolutely blown me away and gone, that's a no-brainer, no doubter. I mean, everybody else I might be able to pick a little something. Like, it might be small. It might be a sliver. But these are like the 5++ guys. One of them was Chris Jones, who was a defensive tackle on the Mississippi side for the Alabama Mississippi All-Star game, who at the time was like a high 3-star. And everybody was like, they're not ranking him right. And then he played in that Alabama Mississippi All-Star game, and he was the MVP. And I remember just crossing my fingers, toes, and everything else I had, just, oh, my God, if he would not sign with Mississippi State, been committed to Mississippi State for a long time, if he would please sign with Alabama. And, of course, he's still playing in the pros right now. He's amazing. And then Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams he's the best wide receiver I've ever seen in the state. I mean, I'm including Julio. I love Julio Jones. But this is the best. He's a freakazoid. And he's reclassifying, so he's not even going to play his senior year. I suspect he'll win Mr. Football again this year. If he played his senior year, I suspect he'd win it again. That'd be 3 Mr. Football awards. I mean, who does that? And this is a good year in Alabama. Next year is a phenomenal year, and I think he'd still do it. I just think he's just different. I don't know what else to say. He scored on the first play of the game. They threw him a bomb on the first play of the game. He scored on a run as a Wildcat. He scored 2 passing touchdowns. He caught 2 passing touchdowns and scored on a kickoff return. And then, what's kind of sad about it is Jalen Mbakwe on the other side for Clay Chalkville, the team that won, by the way.
Really, really good, yeah.
Mbakwe was phenomenal. Mbakwe accounted for every touchdown they had. He had a rushing touchdown and three passing touchdowns. He won the MVP of the game, and he was great. He was phenomenal. All anybody could talk about was Ryan Williams. And he did just announce the other day or yesterday that he's going to be reclassified. I still feel very good that he ends up in Alabama's class. Of course, Auburn's going to keep pushing, and they should. I mean, he's going to probably visit Texas and LSU and Alabama and Auburn and one other one I can't remember, maybe Georgia? I can't remember. But because he reclassified, he can now take his visits, and they can be official visits. So, I mean, go to all these places on their dime. I think that's wonderful. I think that's what you should do. You only live once, right? But he's crazy. And look, I really like Malcolm Simmons. I really like Bryce Kate. I really like Perry Thompson. I really like Cam Coleman. I like Cam Coleman, probably the best out of that group. But I just think Ryan Williams is he's just different. I don't know what to say. You got to watch him, and then you don't even know. I mean, because I saw the same thing in the state championship game last year against Mountain Brook. They had no answer. And you could say, well, Mountain Brook doesn't have necessarily the athletes to keep up with him. Okay, Clay Chalkville does. Clay Chalkville's got dudes everywhere. I mean, they got a linebacker going to Auburn. They got Jalen Mbakwe.
He made the stop of the game.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. That's the other thing that made this game so awesome. You had Ryan Williams going bananas. You had Jalen Mbakwe going bananas. These two guys are going to Alabama next year. You had Jaquan McCroy laying out people as an offensive lineman. I think Antonio Coleman played pretty well for Sandland. And then D'Angelo Barber is able to stop KJ Lacey, the quarterback who's going to Texas, right there at the end. And, kudos for Sandland for going for it. People say it's kind of silly. I don't know. I mean, here's the only thing I would change about that. I would say, hell or high water, would you throw it to Ryan Williams and just see what happens? I don't care. And I get.
Put him in the Wildcat.
Let
him run it.
I mean, I think the reason they did that, KJ Lacey's got enough wheels.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, he's not a runner per se, but he's got enough wheels. He sort of reminds me of like Deshaun Watson in the sense that he can certainly run, but that's not what he wants. Or even Jalen Milroe, that's not really what he wants to do. He wants to stay in Jaden Daniels. But he's a really, really good player too, and all the stars came out. That's what makes a good game on paper a fantastic game in reality. And all the stars had a part in that game, and it was fun to watch.
Got to take another break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed, and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
You want the best opportunity to be successful in life. You deserve that opportunity. Well, you just happens to be in our motto. Central to you, central to your success. Your future is right now. Don't wait. Make your dreams a reality by enrolling at Central Alabama Community College. Register today at cacc.edu.
Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center provides optimum care for the whole person. Dr. Dimo Popov specializes in the prevention and diagnosis of high blood pressure, kidney disease, diabetes, and acute and chronic conditions. Our weight loss clinic offers lipo shots and a guide to healthy weight loss. Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center, where lifestyle changes are made.
Black Friday deals are here all month long at Opelika Ford. Get 3.9% for 60 months on all new 2023 Ford F-150s or 1.9% for 60 months on 2023 Ford Edges. Only at Opelika Ford. Black Friday deals are here all month long at Opelika CDJR. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on new Ram 1500 or 15% off MSRP on new Jeep Compass. Only at Opelika CDJR.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. About 30 more minutes left in the first hour of tonight's program. We got some comments.
Tony Bamberg, a couple of comments here. First of all, given the craziness of the NFL this weekend, it will not surprise me to see the Bears or Cardinals make the playoffs. That would surprise me. But I'll tell you what, one of these teams, one of these three teams, the Panthers are obviously out of it. The Falcons, the Buccaneers, and the Saints, all at 6 and 7. One of them's going to make the playoffs because they have to. And again, that's always been my problem with automatic qualifiers. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. But I'm also kind of getting on board with, somebody with 3 losses is going to win the national championship here before too long. Now, do I love that? No, but it's going to happen, and I've accepted it. So he also says, now I know the chances of either of those situations happening is very small, but the NFL script writers are having the best seasons ever so far. Look, I'm not one of those conspiracy theorists. I'm not. But I'll tell you something. I mean, it's weird that the Titans beat the Dolphins like –
How in the world did I turned it off.
They're up 14 with 3 minutes left.
And I just said, well, I turned the channel because the other one's a better game.
Yeah.
And I turned it over there. I had no idea they won until today.
It hadn't happened since like the 70s. That under 3 minutes to go, down by 14, you win in the NFL. Now, in college, it's different. But in the NFL, it's so, it's a lot of times it's pretty formula. It's academic when you're up 14 with 3 to go. And then to top it off, the Dolphins had like 4th and 2 near the 50 at the end, and Tua gets sacked. They still could have won. So, yeah, that hurt the Dolphins. I'm a Dolphins guy. I've always liked the Dolphins, especially like them now with Waddle and Tua and Raekwon Davis, et cetera. But Lester Cotton, but, that was bad. And then Jim Hardy says, Luke, how bad does it hurt Bama's 2024 class losing Ryan Williams? First of all, they hadn't lost him. I don't think they're going to lose him. I really believe that. And again, I'm somebody who checks on that as often as I can, and because I'm just enamored with the kid. I just think he's fabulous. I'll say that if he goes to Auburn, if he ends up signing with Auburn, I will certainly say that. I have no problem with that. But now if you're saying, I think Alabama's class will still be in the top 5. I mean, Alabama's class is really good regardless. It's not as good as last year's class, just numbers-wise. But I think next year's class is going to be one of the best Saban's had. So this Ryan Williams is the bell cow for me. Some people may think it's Julian Sand, the quarterback out of California, who is interesting. Okay, a lot of people have him the number 1 quarterback. If you don't have him the number 1 quarterback, you got a kid named Dylan Raiola, who was originally from Arizona. He's transferred to Buford High School. He was committed to Nebraska. He decommitted, flipped to Georgia, moved to Buford, where Georgia never has a lot of luck with Buford kids. And now he's flipping back to Nebraska, it looks like.
Really?
Now, the reason is his dad played at Nebraska. His uncle's on the staff there. And, I think it may be maybe he's getting a bigger NIL deal. I don't know. I mean, of course, you hear all that. But when people say that now, they can say it with a smirk or say it in a backhanded manner. It doesn't matter. Everybody's playing that game. If you're not, you're going to get really beat down. So quit worrying about it.
Also, people look at Georgia's, back and say, Well, nobody's going to play there for another 3 years.
No, Carson Beck's, he's got one more year.
Oh, does?
Yeah, he's been at Georgia for a while. In fact, Carson Beck could go pro this year. I don't think he will. But he could go pro this year. And, you know, the other interesting thing is Carson Beck was committed to Alabama. And then I think Alabama signed Bryce Young instead. So it kind of worked out.
Why did the what's the other not Van Gorder.
You just messed it up.
Vanderbilt? What?
Yeah, I know. He's headed to Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's a good pickup for them. Kentucky also picked up the kid that he had played linebacker. He switched over to running back at Ohio State. He got in the portal, and now he's going to Kentucky. They're putting together a pretty good looking little roster for next year.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. When the SEC schedules first came out, I was like, man, I felt like Auburn really caught some breaks because they don't have to play LSU. And I was like, yeah, you go on the road to Missouri, you go on the road to Kentucky. Those games look tough now.
Yeah, they do.
And A&M looks like one of the shoe-ins because they got dudes entering the transfer portal, dudes going pro. That Cooper kid, Edgerrin Cooper, just declared for the draft. He's incredible. They've already lost Max Johnson and his brother. They're losing Walter Nolan, losing L.T. Overton, who will be visiting Alabama this week, I think. And Walter Nolan may end up at Ole Miss. A lot of people think if he ends up at Ole Miss, you think about Walter Nolan at Ole Miss. They also got the #1 JUCO receiver in the country. They've got Jackson Dart coming back, and they got Quinshon Judkins coming back. I mean, and they got another dude from Illinois that's apparently really good. I forget what he plays, but all of a sudden, Ole Miss is looking like, hey, they're a playoff threat. I mean, because they don't play Auburn and Alabama this next year.
Right.
They miss them both. Yeah, they do have to play Georgia, and they got Oklahoma coming. I would rather play Oklahoma than Texas next year. They've got Oklahoma coming to the Grove, so it's going to be wild to think about how we're going to put together these preseason predictions for next year. I mean, and now there's a long way to go, and some kids they'll be more flipping and flopping. There'll be so much stuff going on you don't know. But right now, it just seems like Lane is focusing his efforts on a lot of transfer portal and keeping guys he has versus necessarily going after, youngsters. Now, you got Kamarian Franklin, who's probably the top player in Mississippi, but other than that, I mean, it feels like, you keep Suntaran Perkins. God, they got some dudes on that team. Yeah. And LSU may not be as good.
Right.
They're losing people. They lose Jaden Daniels, obviously. I mean, so it's just interesting.
Quickly, Central Phoenix City defeats Thompson. Finally, gets over breaks the streak there. Thompson had won 4 in a row. But Cam Coleman is the real deal. He was tremendous in this game. But it was just a good game.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch and really a nice beginning, and then the 6A game was a nice ending.
Yeah.
For the Super 7, and of course this week is Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. Ryan Williams is going to be playing in that game now.
Right.
That's ridiculous. I mean, we didn't know he was even going to be in this upcoming class, and now he's playing in that Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game, which is, God, that's fabulous for him. It's fabulous for everybody who enjoys football, honestly. So. That's a big get for the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game.
Let's take another break. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
This is Joseph Dean with Alabama Funeral Homes. As many of you are aware, we had a fire that significantly damaged our facilities. We were in the process of getting those rebuilt. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused the families that we serve. I want you to know that we are capable of handling all of your needs at Frederick Dean Funeral Home of Opelika, which will be servicing Alabama Funeral Homes families. We can be reached at our same number, 256-896-4502, or by email at joseph@alabamafuneralhomes.com.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Flip over and talk a little bit about basketball. Alabama right now 6-3. Had a lead on Purdue. Was stroking the three pretty good in that game, but Purdue comes back and wins that one. What happened?
Well, what happened? I mean, you're playing against a 7'4" gargantuan, and he's in his hometown. And you know, if you let him play the way people play against him, then he's going to beat you every time. And he was playing really, really physical. And frankly, they weren't. I mean, Alabama had I think 2 guys foul out trying to guard him, and everybody else had 4 fouls. I mean, you know, and it was one of those things where I think officials don't really know how to referee guys. They're such freaks of nature that is, you don't know if he's flopping or if he's just moving or what. But Purdue's a really good team, and Purdue also got hot down the stretch. And Alabama, Mark Sears was incredible. But you know, when you have – look, this was meant to be a game that featured Charles Bediako from Canada and Zach Edey from Toronto. It was meant to feature both of them. Well, Bediako very surprisingly went pro, and it caught the Alabama staff off guard. I think it would have been a much better game if Bediako had been there. He probably would have fouled out too, but because he fouled out a lot anyway. But it would have been a better game. But both teams had a 9-point lead at one time in the second half. That's pretty crazy. And it ended up, I think, being a 6-point game for Purdue. Didn't bother me at all losing this contest. It won't bother me at all. Look, if Alabama loses to Creighton on Saturday night, which they very well could, Creighton's a really good team, top 10 team in the country, then they go on the road and play at Arizona in Phoenix the next Wednesday night. And if they lose that, if they go 0-3 in this stretch, it sucks, but it's not going to be the end of the world. This is why you play those games, so you're ready in March. You play them so you know what you're up against. And I've learned my lesson. I would much rather play these games, have a good loss, than play a team like, Tennessee's playing Georgia Southern tonight. They're 0-9. Now, Tennessee's played a tough schedule, too. I'm not picking on them. I'm just saying I would rather play games like this than play a Georgia Southern, beat them by a gazillion, and not learn anything about my team. I think these guys, in a way, I think it's good that they got a taste of hey, look, Alabama was essentially on the road because it was Zach Edey's hometown, and he had a big contingent there. And they're playing, again, just a Godzilla. He's huge. I mean, it really would be like me playing with sixth graders. Right. And, there's some big sixth graders, but, I mean, he's 7'4", 290 or something ridiculous. And, it's just hard to move somebody like that around. And, that's the other thing is, when you watch him, I mean, I remember watching going, hey, eventually you got to call 3 seconds, but I don't think they know how to officiate freaks like that. He's so different that it gets weird, just gets weird watching him. But that's the other thing. He is a pretty good passer. I think he's going to could very well be the NCAA Player of the Year again. And, it wouldn't shock me if Alabama drops these next two as well. I'm hoping they can pull one out. And if they can get the win against Creighton, that's going to be a raucous environment, 6:30 on Fox on Saturday night, a national primetime slot, and then against Arizona next Wednesday, who's now the number 1 team in the country that's already gone on the road and beaten Duke. Yeah, that's going to be a tough pull.
They get Eastern Kentucky and Liberty, and then at Vanderbilt, South Carolina, and at Mississippi State to start the SEC season.
Yeah, and I like the Liberty, by the way, is going to be tough. That's going to be in Birmingham, and Alabama has not fared very well in Legacy Arena in these games where they always set up where they play a game in Birmingham. But hopefully they can get that win. But at Vanderbilt, this Vanderbilt team is not good. Like in the KenPom ratings, they're so far last in the SEC, it's not even funny. I mean, there's like several teams, Auburn, Bama, Tennessee, obviously, Kentucky. I mean, there are a lot of teams up there for the SEC, and then you have to look way down that list. I mean, it's like a CVS receipt trying to find Vanderbilt. So, to open up, I think it's a good start because, South Carolina at home, they're not great. They're okay. They're not great. And then at Mississippi State.
8-1.
I've seen them play, though, They're fine. They're okay. Yes. Are they a threat? Yes. Do I think Alabama should win? Yes. Yeah. At Mississippi State. Now, Mississippi State did just beat the brakes off of, who'd they play? Tulane. In that they were in that holiday hoops giving with Auburn and Indiana, and they beat the brakes off Tulane. But they also lost at home to a Southern team as a 25-point favorite. So this Mississippi State sort of Jekyll and Hyde. But that should be a 3-0 start for Alabama in the SEC.
Auburn 6-2. They, lose to Appalachian State on the road, come home, go to Atlanta and just beat the mess out of Indiana.
And they were down 12 early.
Indiana is not, but this is who Auburn can be when the shots are falling. When you hit 3 threes, you lose. When you hit 14, you win. That's usually how that works.
Well, I think Indiana was surprised by Auburn's athleticism. And, this was one of those Big Ten versus SEC moments that, we SEC fans always talk about, like, we're typically more athletic. And I think Auburn was clearly more athletic. Khalil Ware,
we make a guy quit.
He just quit. He said, I'm done. I'm getting ready for the NBA draft. And was he good enough that you thought, hey, this guy needs to get ready for the NBA draft? Did you think so? I didn't watch the whole game.
I thought he was pretty good, but I wasn't expecting him just to say,
I'm done with this. Had enough.
So Auburn's got UNC Asheville tomorrow. They get Southern Cal on Saturday. Or on Sunday. That should be interesting.
No, I think Auburn's got that pretty well handled. Southern Cal just lost at home to somebody they shouldn't have recently.
They did. They're 5-4 there, but they get you never know. They're athletic, but they start with at Arkansas, who's again 6-4, Texas A&M at home, and LSU at home. So Texas A&M's they're very good. LSU's not very good. Arkansas, I don't know what to make of. But
that'll be a tough first game.
It's in Bud Walton, and that's always tough.
And I can tell you right now, Arkansas is going to look at it like, okay, our new season starts now.
Yeah.
And so that'll be a tough game for Auburn for sure. But A&M at home, look, A&M's giving Auburn problems at home when A&M's not very good and Auburn's awesome. So that's going to be tough. Yeah. But LSU at home should I would say that's a 50-50 game. The LSU game, I would say Auburn should win that clearly. I've seen LSU a few times. watched them against Kansas State. They were like a 3 or 4 point favorite at home and got blasted by a Kansas State team that's okay. But yeah, this LSU squad just, they had a monster turnover on their roster again.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Got to take another break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
It's truck season at Sarah Automotive. New Honda Ridgelines, $349 a month. Ford Rangers, $357 a month. Nissan Frontiers, $379 a month. And Chevrolet Silverados, $399 a month at Sarah Automotive. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty, no charge, engine, powertrain, and more. It's truck season at Sarah Honda, Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Nissan, and Sarah Chevrolet.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com. You don't have to ask who, what, or why. Who's Diner is the go-to place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Conveniently located at the corner of Highway 22 and 280 in Alex City. Who's Diner offers the best meals and the best deals in town. Try our fresh, made-from-scratch pancakes, chicken salad, Philly cheesesteak, or the Who Burger. It doesn't get any better than who? Who's Diner, of course, on the corner of Highway 22 and 280. Who's hungry?
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Lay your best to rest. Call the best. Lewis Pest Control.
Lewis Pest Control is now serving Alexander City and the entire Lake Martin area. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, Lewis has environmentally safe products for all your pest control needs. Lewis Pest Control.
Lay your best to rest. Call the best. Lewis Pest Control.
Let Riverbank and Trust open doors for you. Whether you're purchasing land, a lot by the lake, or building or buying a home, begin with Tallapoosa County's loan experts. They'll guide you through the entire process, providing local decision-making, prompt responses, and the best real estate loan solutions for your unique needs. And in most cases, Riverbank and Trust can close your loan in 30 days or less, and they'll walk by your side every step of the way. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. We invite you to experience it for yourself.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Just one more segment in the first hour of tonight's program. I asked you off the air. I'll ask you on there. Ole Miss 9-0. Are they that good?
I don't think so. But I mean, anytime you start 9-0, I mean, you got to applaud somebody. They're not. I don't even know how many votes they're getting to get in the poll. I mean, they're okay. They're not going to be a pushover. They certainly have a good coach in Chris Beard. I just feel like that they have not played, a very stringent schedule. So, I mean, I think this is going to be something where when they get in the league play, it'll be a market correction.
Alan Flanagan's still leading the league in score.
Mark Sears was last I saw, and he had 33 points, I think, against Purdue. So I'd suspect that he's still going to be leading. Ty Sanders says, I think DJ Barber will start next year at linebacker for Auburn. He was a tackling machine against Saraland in the championship game. I think the 2024 SEC football schedule comes out tomorrow. He is right about that. Now, I am super excited about that. I I wish they'd do this every year, where they just announce the schedule.
Is it coming out tomorrow morning or tomorrow?
No, tomorrow night. It's going to be on the SEC Network. I think it's at 7. It could be at 6 Central. I'm not sure, but I need to find out because I'm supposed to go do something. I want to be sure I'm back in time. And look, Alabama's schedule is pretty much out because ESPN had some leaks. We don't know where 3 games are. I think the Missouri game, the South Carolina game, and the Vanderbilt game. And it's important. I mean, those are the 3 worst games, obviously in the SEC slate, I guess. But those games are important because we do know when the Georgia game is, and we do know when the Wisconsin game is. Wisconsin was set in stone anyway. It's on September 14th. Then we don't know who's September 21st, but then Alabama welcomes Georgia the next week. So what I'm hoping is that Alabama goes to Wisconsin on the 14th, to Vandy on the 21st, and then comes home and plays Georgia. Maybe you got a feverish crowd, hadn't seen them at home in 3 weeks, and it's going to, you would think Alabama's undefeated, you would think Georgia's undefeated, but Georgia's got Clemson at the beginning of the year. And then Georgia's schedules come out. They have at Alabama, then Auburn at home back-to-back. So it's kind of ironic that after all these years, Auburn fans were complaining, we got Georgia and Alabama back-to-back when really there was always a buffer in there. And now Georgia's got them back-to-back, like literally back-to-back, not screwing around. That's going to be tough.
Yeah. You play Alabama first?
They play Alabama on the 28th and Auburn on the 5th, I guess it is.
Okay, well, good. Y'all beat them up pretty good.
I'm going to do everything we can. And, the SEC is going to be so unique next year because no divisions, so it doesn't matter. No East-West. So, it's going to be so much good thing. I wonder, that'd be a fun exercise. Go back and look through the past SEC seasons and see how the SEC championship game would look if there were no divisions this whole time. I think that'd be a lot more fun to see. But I think this is the way it should be. It just makes it really, really hard to run the table in this league. If Alabama goes 11-2 and wins the SEC next year, if they go 10-3 and don't win the SEC, I think they might still get in the playoffs. That's how hard this thing is going to be next year. It's going to be tough on everybody.
Oh, yeah. But it's going to be a learning experience for us all to get kind of used to it. But it should be. It's going to be better. I just think it's going to be a lot more interesting, a lot more fun for all these games and having them at home. And I
know that Auburn's got one more game to schedule. And I was hoping it would be somebody, it'd be cool if they could do a Colorado or something, but my guess is it's going to be an Alabama A&M or an Alabama State or something.
I'm sure it will.
Because, that's just my guess. I just wish it were somebody that would make things a little bit more interesting, even like a Colorado. That'd just be kind of fun to have. Because you think about some of the games next year. You got Alabama at Wisconsin. That's just kind of odd even. You got Georgia, Clemson, and Atlanta for like the billionth time. But you got UCLA coming to LSU and LSU playing USC on Sunday, the first Sunday in Vegas. How awesome is that? Texas and Michigan. Now, Texas is an SEC team next year.
Yeah.
Texas at Michigan next year. Oklahoma doesn't really play anybody in the non-con, which is a disappointment. But Notre Dame at Texas A&M. There's some awesome games.
You don't think Auburn and Cal will be?
No, that is a awesome stinker. A stinker. When Auburn scheduled that, I was like, why? Why would they do that? And then they got, I'll give Auburn some credit for Baylor because when they scheduled Baylor, they were better. But now Baylor stinks. Yeah, so now they got a stinker, and UCLA kind of stinks, and they're probably going to get worse in the Big Ten. So they've lined up stinker after stinker after stinker.
We needed some stinkers to
you got to
get our feet under us a little bit.
Yeah, but you got. I think that's in the end.
We're a stinker right now. So hey.
Well, I think Cal's going to be pretty easy pickings next year.
I hope so for sure. Let's see, the SEC slate: Georgia Southern at Tennessee tonight.
That's over.
Murray State, it's over.
Yeah, Tennessee beat them by 20 or something.
Okay. Murray State at Mississippi State. Tomorrow, Alabama State at LSU. UNC Asheville at Auburn. And then Thursday, East Carolina at Florida. So there's your SEC slate coming up. That's about all I wanted to talk about. The SEC.
When it comes to basketball, we're sort of. I mean, I think Kentucky and North Carolina play this weekend too, if I remember right. And you got Alabama Creighton, and then you got Alabama Arizona. But I mean, the SEC is kind of winding down. Like now, it's going to be some Eastern Kentuckys and some Alabama A&Ms and Asheville's or whatever, Auburn, USC, but whatever. So I think everybody now is just waiting to get in that conference slate. I mean, I mean, it's fun. All this, Maui Invitational and the whatever, all that's kind of fun, but it's not as fun as it should be. We should care more about UConn and North Carolina played earlier this year, and it was, UConn took care of business, but everybody's kind of like, oh, well, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? We should care more. We just don't.
It's true. Tennessee, North Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, North Carolina whipped up on them,
Yeah, pretty good. Go ahead and take one more break. We'll come back. Take a look at the coaching carousel when we come back right after this.
Truckloads of new and used models. Over 200 on the ground or on the way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Check out the powerful new Chevrolet Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cabs. Discounted up to $12,250 off. The best-selling and well-equipped new Chevrolet Equinox. Discounted up to $6,000 off. Enjoy no payments till springtime.
Get your best price every day at Glenn Smith Chevrolet on the lot or online at glennsmith.com. Get ready to smile.
The coast is here. Wharf Casual Seafood is serving up all your favorites: shrimp and grits, po' boys, tacos, seafood platters, and so much more. Don't miss out on our famous loaded fried green tomatoes. Wharf Casual Seafood is located on Highway 280 next to Regions Bank.
The Alabama Slammer. It's a popular drink at parties, but drink too many and you'll wind up in this Alabama Slammer. And if you drink and drive, get ready for a real Alabama Slammer. If you're involved in a crash where a driver's been drinking, you're 4 times more likely to die.
Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full-service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. We'll go right to the phone line.
Terry, what's up, brother?
Guys, how y'all doing?
Doing perfect, man.
I want to ask you guys a question.
Okay.
What is more hard to figure out right now, the transfer portal or why a guy could get $700 million?
I'm trying to figure out how he gets $700 million and he's going to defer a lot of it.
Too.
Yeah.
And do you guys think we're just a few years away, maybe, from somebody getting $1 billion contract?
I think we probably are.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it does beg the question, and maybe the question's stupid because nobody's run out of money yet. We keep saying, oh, you can't do this, it's not sustainable. I mean, they said that back when, you know, Steve Spurrier first got $1 million as a head coach, and now people are making $11 million as a head coach. So, you know, they said the same thing when basketball players were getting this and football players were getting that and baseball players getting this. And the same thing now about the NIL in college football. But my understanding is, and this is sort of universal for all these universities, that what's funny is if most of the people funding these NIL collectives are the big money people. Now, I know you're not surprised by that, but I'm saying, like, they're carrying a lot more of the load than people thought they would be. I think everybody thought that the average fan who likes to complain every day on a message board would be like, sure, I'll give you $20 a month, you know, no problem. And that's not happening as much as any of these university people thought it would. I'm talking about Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Ohio State, everybody. And that the big money donors are having to foot the bill more than they thought. That's what makes me wonder how sustainable it is, because eventually you're going to go to the well and they're going to say, you know what, just not worried about it as much.
Yeah.
Well, something that makes me wonder how sustainable it is, Luke, is I never thought I would see the day that a coach would get $76 million to leave.
Yeah, and I think some fans are very rightfully kind of disgusted with all this. I mean, look, part of me says, hey, I should mind my own business. I mean, if somebody wanted to pay me $76 million to walk away, yeah, you can say whatever you want to about it. So part of me says if somebody wants to give me a check for $700 million for 10 years because I can hit a baseball, everybody else can kiss my backside. But
yeah, when a family of four goes to a Major League Baseball game for $300,
that's my point, Terry. You're right.
Tickets.
You're absolutely right, and that's the part that's a little disgusting. I mean, that we should all be a little bit disgusted by, because I mean, it really is, in the end, you want to be able to take your kids and not have to take out a loan to do it.
Yeah, or more anything. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. We came down here from Talladega a few years ago to an Auburn game, and that was in 2010. And I remember a young man was sitting next to me. He said he was going to go to the stand to get him a hot dog and a drink, and he come back. I said, "How much you got?" He said, $10. I said, "Yeah, that should cover it." He come back, it was like $7.50 for a hot dog and a drink. I was like, "Yeah, that's about right." He couldn't believe it. I said, "That's why coaches are making that kind." Now that's in 2010.
Yeah,
that's under cheese dip, you know. So it's went even further since then, you know. So it's just gotten out of control, and the little man's getting destroyed. And you think the people in Los Angeles care? No, not really, because most of the tickets are corporate tickets. Let's be honest. And the people smiling the most are the political officials in California, because they're going to tax the daylights out of him.
Oh, there's no doubt. And you know, $700 million after it goes to your agent and after it goes to taxes isn't as much as you think. It's still a lot.
You've seen what the deal is, right?
Yeah, he's going to defer most of it so that they can still sign some.
He's going to make $2 million a year for 10 years and then get $680 million.
Yeah.
I mean,
let me ask you guys this last question. When I'm not sure how to ask it, but I guess I just come around and ask it. Where does it stop? I mean, and how much is the Dodgers franchise worth? That's why when I brought the $1 billion contract, how much is something like the Dodgers franchise worth? The whole franchise.
Oh, it's got to be worth, like, I'm going to say $3 or $4 billion, right? It's got to be.
I would think, yeah.
I mean, the Dodgers are one of the more iconic brands in sports, so yeah, I would say $3 or $4 billion.
Somebody told me they were $550 million in the hole right now.
How?
Well, I would guess they would have a lot of company in that hole.
Yeah.
If I'm Shohei Ohtani, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to need a certified check or something.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it, guys. You have a great night.
Thank you, Terry. See you, buddy. Yeah, I mean, and again, I'm trying. I mean, it's not my money to give away, so I shouldn't complain about somebody getting it. I mean, I get that argument too. But in the end, I mean, it is, there's something that just, it doesn't feel right. Now, Shohei Ohtani doesn't care what I think, though. So, and he shouldn't. I mean, I'm just saying that it is kind of rough when we're like, hey, we want. Now, I'm not a Braves guy. I'm not a baseball guy. You guys want to watch the Braves, but I mean, if you want to go to a Braves game, it's high.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I mean, look, let me put it this way. I went to a Dolphins game this year. I'm a Dolphins fan, but like I go to games. But I was in Miami. They were playing Bryce Young and the Panthers. I was like, I'll go check it out. I got a ticket on the Game Time app for like $65. It was a crappy ticket, but I could obviously move around. But then I had to take, an Uber over there. By the time you get through all the maneuver through Miami and get through all the traffic, it was $40. The ticket's already $65. You get in there, I got a pizza, I got a drink, and that's another $20, $25 by the time it's all said and done. So, and then you got to get an Uber back. I mean, so me by myself was approximately $200, and I wasn't worried I just was doing it for the heck of it.
Yeah.
If how do you take two kids and your wife for $800 to just go see the Panthers play?
I will say Auburn did a couple of years ago. They did make a concerted effort, and Atlanta does this. Arthur Blank said that they were going to have low prices for food and drink for forever or whatever, and they do a good job of
They have refillable drinks.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Auburn, they had $2 waters, and I think the hot dogs were like $3 or something like that, and it was like that for Jay Jacobs made it a point to say, look, we're going to give back to the fans, do that. I think it's gone up a little bit since then, but still the prices are not nearly as high as they are at some places, so I'll at least give them that. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, y'all are both right. I mean, it's pricing out the average fan. There is no question about that whatsoever with tickets.
I mean, look, just talking about even going to Pasadena is different. A lot of people have talked about going out there. I mean, if you want to, family of four want to go check out Alabama, take on Michigan, it'd be an awesome game, and it is two awesome brands. It's one of the most iconic venues in all of sports. Beautiful view. Pasadena's high rent district and all that. I bet it's family of four, I'm going to say between 14, 16 grand. By the time you get all your tickets, by the time you get a place to stay, by the time you get your airline tickets, and by the time you feed them there, it's not like you're going up to Sylacauga. You're going 3.5 hours away, by air. And so several time zones, and, so it's not easy travel. It's difficult. I'm just telling you, I mean, you do the math, and because tickets are not cheap for this. I mean, bad seats are going for $750. So, yeah, I could see 14 grand easily, 16 grand.
Good grief.
I mean, how do you do that? I mean, even if you want to say, I want to do this for Christmas.
Lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is a once in a lifetime. And look, if Alabama goes to Houston, I'm going to keep my streak alive of going to every national championship we've been to since '92. I'm going to do it somehow. I don't know how. I hadn't thought that far. I'm just sort of like, hey, just sort of hanging around. Yeah. Somebody wants to help old Lukey out. But yeah, I'm going to do it. But man, I was thinking about, I really want to go to Pasadena because what are the odds? I mean, you have these two winningest teams in college football playing each other in Pasadena. That's incredible. But I'm like, I can't do that. I mean, that's too much. It's crazy talk.
Up against a break. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SEC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
If you're looking for something to do in the Lake Martin area, you have to go to Liquor by the Lake. Liquor by the Lake is not only the best place to pick up your hard-to-find liquors and craft beers, there's a bar. An awesome bar serving up specialty cocktails and martinis. And the best bushwhacker and creamsicle drinks at Lake Martin. Make plans to come out for happy hour Fridays from 7 to 9 with half-price beer and cocktails. And there's live entertainment on Thursdays. You can even watch the Alabama and Auburn games and Sunday and Monday night football. Liquor by the Lake, located on Highway 49 in the Big Fish Complex near Stillwaters. Open at 1 every day but closed on Wednesday. Come see us.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
Truckloads of fresh inventory are rolling into Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Come see and drive the new full-size GMC Sierra 1500 trucks, discounted up to $13,500 off. And the roomy and stylish GMC Terrain, up to $6,700 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until springtime.
Get your best price every day at Glenn Smith GMC on the lot or online at glennsmith.com. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. About 45 more minutes left in tonight's show. Brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by Sunshine Heating and Air. Give Kevin Kill and his crew a call. I had a little slow play there.
It's just it's for dramatics.
That's what it is. Kevin Kill and his crew do a wonderful job. Sunshine Heating and Air for all your heating and cooling needs. And it is cold outside tonight. I will say.
It is cold,
sure.
But I got to say I dig it. I'm going to tell you something, man. I don't know how much the weather was down here. And where I live in Mountain Brook, it was crazy bad on Saturday night. Like bananas. Early Sunday morning. I mean, there were
it was in the 20s?
Trees throwing apples at people.
Oh,
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a storm like you wouldn't believe. Tornadoes. There were trees down on people's houses. It was a mess, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I knew. I mean, it rained here. I was up most of the night. I didn't hear it. What didn't get too bad around here, but it was. All we got was pretty much rain. So
you know,
we were fortunate.
That famous Alabama tornadic activity in December.
Yeah, really. Well, it happens. All right, coaching carousel, Luke.
Okay.
All right, a lot of firings, a lot of hirings, not a lot of high-profile jobs here. But when you look down through here, who made the best hire in your opinion?
Oh my God. I like Mike Elko a lot. Do I like Mike Elko enough to pay somebody else $76 million to go away? I guess Jimbo Fisher, I mean, like, the more I think about this Jimbo Fisher thing, like, if Jimbo Fisher stays at A&M, they probably still have Walter Nolan. They probably still have L.T. Overton. They probably still get Cam Coleman. They probably still have Max Johnson and his brother, the tight end that did so well against Alabama. I think he caught a touchdown against Auburn, maybe, or a big play against Auburn.
Did.
They probably still have Evan Stewart, who I think's in the transfer portal. They got talent. Now, maybe he had lost the fan base that much, and it was like whatever it takes. But boy, I mean, see, you got to factor in Mike. You can say Mike Elko's a good hire. if you were just a normal, if this was just a normal, hey, we're going to give him, $15 million to go away. I mean, that sounds ridiculous. But
Yeah.
$15 million to go away is like a bargain now.
Sure.
I don't think it's a good enough hire if you give somebody $76 million to go away.
No.
But I like it, and of all these other hires, I think it's the best. I mean, that's the other part. That's weird. I mean, you said there's no high profile. Who's high profile that would be available?
I mean, high profile jobs.
Well, okay. Well, I'm asking though, like, who could? That's why I'm still kind of shocked A&M pulled the trigger. Like, wait one more year. And just anyway, I don't know. I think Mike Elko may do great things.
What do you think about Jeff Lebby at Mississippi State?
I'm okay with. I'm a little shocked Jeff Lebby goes that route because I feel like he's walking into an ant-bed, man. I mean, it's tough to recruit there. They did just get a commitment from Mario Craver, who plays, by the way, for Clay Chalkville, who scored a touchdown, at least one touchdown, against Saraland this past weekend on a pass from Mbakwe. So Mario Craver's a good player. I mean, normally we don't. The state of Alabama doesn't have Cam Coleman, Malcolm Simmons, Ryan Williams, Perry Thompson, Bryce Kane all there together to make Mario Craver look like the sixth best receiver. In normal years, he'd be the second best receiver in the state, if not first. This year is just a little different. But he did get a commitment from him. I like him a lot. I don't know if it's enough outside the box for Mississippi State, too. So I'm not sure about the marriage, and I feel like he's walking into something where how is Mississippi State going to maneuver their way through this, man? How are they going to do this?
That's a good question.
I'm going to look up Mississippi State. You give me another guy to talk about while I look up Mississippi State's schedule for next year.
How about John Sumrall from Troy going to Tulane? I mean, Willie Fritz did a great job at Tulane, but John Sumrall did a great job at Troy. They won 10 games this past year. So Manny Diaz gets a job at Middle Tennessee. No, I take that back. At Duke. Derek Mason goes to Middle Tennessee. Derek Mason back in the.
I mean, somebody's got to tell me why so many people love Derek Mason. I mean, I think he's probably a good coach, but I mean, I don't know if he's anyway.
I don't know.
I thought that was a little odd. Okay, so this is Mississippi State's schedule next year. This is what Jeff Lebby's walking into. Eastern Kentucky at home, at Arizona State. Hey, I appreciate the effort there. Toledo at home, UMass at home.
He didn't schedule it.
No, well, they don't have all their. I'm gonna have to look it up on this other way here because they didn't have all their games. So, oh no, they're at Georgia. That's on October 12th. They do have that one set. At Ole Miss. Oh no, Arkansas, Florida at home, Missouri at home, A&M at home. Okay.
Wait a minute. They got what?
They got Arkansas at home, Florida at home, Missouri at home, A&M at home.
Before that,
at Ole Miss on the 30th.
They're at the Egg Bowls. The third game of the.
No. The other games aren't set for their date, so they just have them after.
It hadn't been dated. Yeah. Okay.
They're at Tennessee. Oh man, listen to their road. At Texas, at Tennessee, at Ole Miss, and at Georgia. Name somebody who's going to have a tougher road schedule. I mean, Alabama's at Wisconsin, at LSU, Arkansas, at Tennessee, and at Oklahoma. Well, I mean, yeah.
They always.
But they have, man, that's tough. I feel for them. I mean, why couldn't the SEC office like, we're going to let Mississippi State play Vandy. We're going to, for the both of them. They should have done that. This is, man, he's going to go 4-7. And I think that's ceiling, or 4-8. That's ceiling. I don't see. Tell me where your wins come from. I don't think he's going to beat Arizona State next year. Rhett Lashley's doing okay over there now. It's at Arizona State. It's going to be 972 degrees. And I know we have more humidity.
Rhett Lashley's at SMU.
Okay, who's over there? Not Rhett Lashley, the other guy that was at Auburn at one time that was an offensive coordinator is from Oregon.
Yeah. I don't know his name.
Doesn't matter. They'll beat Eastern Kentucky, UMass, and they'll probably beat Toledo. Okay. They might beat Arkansas at home. They might beat Florida at home. But they're not going to beat – Missouri's going to be good next year. They're not beating Missouri. No. I guess they could beat A&M. I don't see it. They're not beating Arkansas, Florida, and A&M. They might win one of those. They're going to go 4-8. That's what he's walked into. I mean, and again, and you lose Will Levis. You lose Nathaniel Watson, who is SEC Defensive Player of the Year by some circles. I mean, from Maplesville, by the way. I just hate to see a team like they don't have – I don't see how they have a chance to go to a bowl next year. Honest to God. That's a murderer's row.
That's a tough schedule. Whew. I don't really feel sorry for them, to be perfectly honest.
Well, I mean, you know, Mississippi State, sometimes you're like, there's that scrappy team that can sneak up on somebody. They ain't sneaking up on any of them. It's like trying to sneak up on somebody wearing horseshoes and jingle bells. It's just.
Oh, well. We got to take a break. We'll be back with more of Sports Blitz Live.
You have no heart.
After this.
Grinch.
None of.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Planting season is here, and the Potting Shed Garden Center is happy to give you professional landscaping advice when it comes to planting your shrubs and trees. Auburn's best kept secret will have it all this fall. Mums, pansies, pumpkins, and much more. All an array of colors and sizes, along with beautiful pots and containers, indoor plants, and a great selection of other gardening gifts. It's all at the Potting Shed Garden Shop, where natural elements reign supreme. Located on the corner of Moore's Mill and Society Hill Road in Auburn.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Have you stopped by Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store lately? If you haven't, you should. You'll find great pieces for your favorite do-it-yourself project. Lightly used name brand clothing by Free People, North Face, Matilda Jane, Patagonia, and a whole lot more. And while you're there, don't miss the shoes, decorative pieces, classic and new books, and Auburn and Alabama gear that won't cost you a fortune. So stop and shop at Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store today for a unique thrift experience that won't break the budget. Lifesavers Mission Thrift, located on East University behind Zaxby's.
Lake Area Realty specializes in Lake Martin real estate. They can help simplify your next real estate purchase or sell and have helped many home buyers and sellers through the area buy and sell real estate with precision. Lake Area Realty utilizes powerful marketing tools and knowledge of the lake to help you with your next move. Call your local hometown agency today. Lake Area Realty at 256-825-4800. That's 256-825-4800. Lake Area Realty, helping you find your way home.
Hi, this is Andrew McGreer at Dunning Roofing. At Dunning Roofing, we specialize in high-quality, premium roofs. We don't build roofs that just meet code requirements. We build quality roofs with premium materials that significantly exceed our competitors' warranties. We put money on your roof, not in our pockets. If you're looking for a top-quality roof, call Dunning Roofing today for your free quote at 256-307-7601 or visit us at DunningRoofingAL.com for more information.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, and the moment you have all been waiting for. 80s movies bracket has come down to this. We started out with a 1 through 16 bracket, and we have come down to the 16 seed versus the 11 seed. Not one you often see in a bracket.
It's been a long journey,
but it has been
we
a long journey.
We couldn't have done it without so many people.
No, we haven't.
Really, just you.
That's true. Airplane versus Die Hard, in the greatest movie in this bracket in particular. In the 80s, I'll let you begin. You can tell me who you came up with.
Well, I think the best way to handle this.
Okay.
Let's both present a case for each, and then we'll vote.
Okay.
So let's start with which one you want to start with? We'll both present our high points.
Okay. Well, let's just start with Airplane.
You start with Airplane. You think about Leslie Nielsen. You think about some of the more iconic lines in movie history. I mean, if you ask me, I mean, it's so many things, so many quotable moments. The fact that it was sort of cutting edge humor, nobody could make that film today, and not be canceled almost immediately. And that's what sort of makes it beautiful, is that if you have any sense of humor whatsoever, if you watch that film, even now, if you're the wokest of all the woke, you'll still laugh.
Here's something a lot of people don't know. That movie is actually a scene-for-scene remake of an actual movie. They just inserted comedy into it. It's actually a serious movie. I forget what it's called, but it's basically like the exact same movie, but they just made a spoof of it. But they did it so well that nobody even knows any remotely what that movie is. But like you said, I mean, Peter Graves, I
picked a bad time to quit sniffing glue. That's so, like, you've got to be higher than Snoop Dogg in a hot air balloon to come up with that kind of line.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. I mean,
Shirley, you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley.
That's just fantastic. And like, if you ever tell somebody Shirley blank, they always say so-and-so and don't call me Shirley.
I get people coming to me still to this day that say, I just want you to know we're all counting on you. I mean, it's just, there's just the little girl, the little girl. You got Mrs. Cleaver speaking jive. I mean,
it's so good on every level. I mean, you've got stars, you've got you got guys that, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, obviously not
Robert
a great
Stack.
actor, not a great actor, but it was better that he wasn't a good actor.
I know.
And that he was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the movie.
Yeah. Got Clarence.
What's your vector, Victor?
There's so many things to like, and plus the fact that it's just one of the funniest movies of all time.
To have it 16 on this list. I mean, that'd be like if you played the NCAA tournament, and they're like, oh, yeah, okay, you're a 1 seed. You got to play North Carolina. I mean,
that's true.
It's ridiculous.
All right, Die Hard.
All right, Die Hard is the quintessential Christmas movie, especially for now. Like, in the moment, at the time, it wasn't a Christmas movie. It has become a Christmas movie. And it has so many fantastic moments. It has some quotable lines. Let's get together, John. Okay, come down. We'll have a few laughs.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, yippee-ki-yay. Mother blank. And then
it introduced the world to Bruce Willis, really.
It really kind of did. Now, I mean, I think he was
in Blind Date.
Well, and he was doing he had done Moonlighting.
But still, as an action star.
And like it really also, it was interesting in that it was all taking place in a building. Like a lot of action movies, you're going to Vietnam, or you're going, you're Rambo, you're going across the world. or James Bond, From Russia with Love, or then Antarctica, or they've got some kind of satellite that's burning up cities or whatever, Moonraker. He was trapped in a building the whole time, and that's pretty novel concept, especially at the time.
No shoes.
No shoes. The foreshadowing of who gives a blank about glass, and then his feet are all cut up. Alan Reichman, who recently passed, God rest his soul. The look of him falling at the end when she unhooks that bracelet or whatever it was. I mean, just a lot to love about that movie. And you were talking about a true fact. What a lot of people don't know is that was based on an actual event of a potential takeover of a building 20 years earlier. That is not true at all, but I think it's just as true as what you said.
No, that's true.
I just made that up now.
I will tell you that I think that movie was supposed to star Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I think it was too. I think you're absolutely right. And it would have been 100 times worse. It had to. I mean, because first of all, nobody would have thought. I mean, she didn't look like the kind of woman that would marry Arnold Schwarzenegger. And plus, if you've got these Germans and coming in to do all this stuff, you don't want an Austrian fighting them. I mean, that's just weird. It'd almost be like he was in on it.
Right, that's true.
So, yeah, it needed to be Bruce Willis. And Bruce Willis looked like the kind of guy. See, Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't look like a guy who's like, I'm a cop, but I got these great instincts, but I'm a little bit washed. I got a little bit of a drinking problem, maybe smoke a little too much, maybe womanize a little too much. Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't look like a former cop. He looks like a former Mr. Universe or whatever he was.
Right.
And so, yeah, he can be Commando. Sure, he can be Commando. He can be Terminator, but he can't do this. I mean, and Bruce Willis looked like a guy who's got regular life problems, and his wife got a big job in L.A., but he doesn't want to leave. His heart's with the streets in New York, and he flew in just to do this, and it looks like the kind of guy that'd take his shoes off and rub his toes in the carpet to feel better from jet lag.
And I even like he's communicating to the outside, and you've got these FBI agents that come in, and they don't care anything about it. And they're trying to, they're going to blow up the top of the building, or shoot it out, and it's just got so many different factors that he's going inside the building, he's going outside the building. He jumps off the side of the building and hangs and breaks through the glass and comes in to the window. I mean, it's got so many different elements to it. It's the perfect almost action movie. That kind of started, I mean...
It did start a trend, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of started a franchise that is still going to this day.
Yeah, and I mean, none of them... I mean, the D.C. one in the airport was kind of cool. I liked it a little bit. It was fine. It had Dennis Franz,
It did.
Who...
John Amos.
Yeah. It had some... I liked it a little. It wasn't as good as the original, but I liked it. But then... From that point forward, it gets a little. I mean, you're like, hey, man, how unlucky is this guy?
That's true.
Well, I'll take that back. The one where the brother wanted to get revenge for Hans, but he didn't really want revenge. He wanted to pretend like it with Samuel L. Jackson. That one is entertaining because he sent him on that wild goose chase and all that.
And he's walking through Harlem with a sign that says, I hate.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. That
Black
was pretty.
folk.
Yeah. That was pretty bad.
That was fun.
So
all right, it's come down to this.
Let's just 1, 2, 3 and say what we're going to say at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Airplane. Yeah, I know. It's just easy. It's easy. I mean, it's just easy.
I can't help. I can't not pick Airplane. It's just too.
All right. Here's the best way I know to put this. If both movies were on. And like on a lazy Sunday afternoon, I'm probably watching Die Hard. But if you tell me, Luke, you're going to be on a deserted island for the next 3 years and you can only take one of them, I'm taking Airplane. You know, if you could say you can only watch one of these movies one more time the rest of your life, and you can't watch the other one ever again, it's Airplane.
I'm with you.
I mean, I love Die Hard. It doesn't mean I don't like Die Hard.
This is true. They're great movies.
Yeah.
Kane, you got to pick?
But is it? You know, people can't see him, right?
Hey,
are you seeing other people?
No, he's peering in here.
What'd he say?
He's going Airplane too.
Airplane is. We're 3 minutes past the break, but, you know, what's your vector, Victor?
We'll go ahead and take another break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Have you met your local Farmers Insurance agent, Patrick Holina? He proudly serves Tallapoosa County and Alexander City families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call the Holina Agency at 256-234-0037 or stop in today at 704 Commerce Drive to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's the Holina Agency, 256-234-0037.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
The food at Oscar's Cafe makes your mouth water. At Oscar's, enjoy great tasting catfish, or maybe you're just in the mood for one of Oscar's fresh salads. Even kids know the place for a fine meal is Oscar's with a great kids menu. Oscar's also has great tasting burgers full of backyard flavor. So come on out to Oscar's Cafe for great food and homegrown hospitality. We're located on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, just before the Blue Creek Bridge. And remember, it's all fun and games till there's only one cheese ball left.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal, the encore performance, the first date, the internship, and now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro continues to excel in making sure our clients have a smooth and pleasant experience with home financing needs. Families are struggling to make ends meet due to price increases and high interest rates on credit cards. Monthly debt can cripple a family from enjoying the special times in life. Property values are holding strong, and now is the time to take advantage of the equity in your home, saving hundreds of dollars a month. No money out of pocket and no payment until January 2024. Call the Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro today.
Lake Area Realty specializes in Lake Martin real estate. They can help simplify your next real estate purchase or sell and have helped many home buyers and sellers through the area buy and sell real estate with precision. Lake Area Realty utilizes powerful marketing tools and knowledge of the lake to help you with your next move. Call your local hometown agency today, Lake Area Realty, at 256-825-4800. That's 256-825-4800. Lake Area Realty, helping you find your way home.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Just a couple more segments left in tonight's show. Bowl season begins on Saturday, December the 16th. Let's run through these, Luke. Who you got? Georgia Southern and Ohio in the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
God, I'm so nervous. Who'd you say?
Georgia Southern.
Ohio, sure. No, Georgia Southern, yeah. I'm going to stay in the South, baby.
Jacksonville State and Louisiana in the
You know I'm going Jacksonville State Gamecocks, bruh. Let's go ahead and get this call. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, you guys. How's it going?
Good. What's going on tonight?
Oh, not much.
I know this is usually the time of the show when you guys are reading recipes or top 10 lists or obituaries or something, so I thought I'd give you a call and regale you with a story. Auburn getting selected to the Music City Bowl reminded me of the last time that Alabama got selected for the Music City Bowl, which was several years ago. I'm an old-timer, and I actually went to that game, and I wanted to tell you the story of that.
By all means.
Is this the Minnesota game?
No, I'll tell you as I go. First of all, it starts out with 4 idiots in Tuscaloosa who decided, hey, let's go to this bowl game in Nashville, even though we had a crappy year, and the weather's supposed to be bad and everything, but, you know, we've been to bad weather games before, so let's just go up there and see what happens. You know, it's Nashville. We'll make a weekend of it. We'll go to the game. We'll beat someone and have a good time, and then we'll go get a nice meal in Nashville afterwards and maybe, you know, go to a honky-tonk and have a good time, and you just make a night of it, you know. But because of the weather and other circumstances, none of that happened. So we drive up to Nashville, and as we're driving into the city, they're telling people, don't get on the roads unless you have to because it's raining and freezing at the same time. So, and oh, by the way, back then, the Music City Bowl was played in Vanderbilt Stadium on the campus of Vanderbilt University.
Yeah, I know where this is going now.
At that time, the Tennessee Titans Stadium in downtown Nashville did not exist yet. So we were at Vanderbilt Stadium, and if you've ever been to Vanderbilt Stadium, it's not known for its amenities, if you know what I mean. And so we get in this game, and it's absolutely freezing. It's raining as it's freezing. It's torrential weather, and we sit there and we watch Alabama get their butt kicked by an up-and-coming Virginia Tech team that was quarterbacked by a young quarterback named Michael Vick. And it was coached by Frank Beamer, so you know there was at least one special teams touchdown, and I think they blocked the punt or they faked the punt and scored a touchdown on us, and they wound up beating us something like 28-6 or 29-7 or something like that. And it was a miserable night with miserable weather. There were people with tarps over them trying to watch the game. And the halftime show of the Music City Bowl that year was Faith Hill. And back then, I had a thing for Faith Hill, if you know what I mean. But
we all did.
It didn't matter because nobody saw Faith Hill, because as soon as the clock hit 0 for halftime, the entire crowd got up in mass and went to the exits to get in the concourse and huddle up and try to stay warm, because that's how cold it was.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Faith put on a great show, but, I mean, I was busy trying to keep my hands from falling off. So anyway, we go back out for the third quarter, and it's just as bad as the first half. And we get to the fourth quarter, and we look at each other, and we're like, guys, this ain't going to get no better, and this weather ain't getting no better. So we bailed on the game, and we got in our car, and we knew better than anything think about going anywhere except back to the hotel. So we beelined it back to the hotel, and the roads were freezing over as we were going back to the hotel. We slipped a couple of times and almost went to ditch, but we finally made it back to the hotel. We get in the hotel, and we get in the room, and we start trying to thaw out. I mean, we're turning on coffee makers and hot water in the bathtubs, and the only thing in the room that makes any reference to any food was a phone number for Domino's Pizza right by the phone. So we called Domino's Pizza and ordered pizza delivered to the room. So instead of having this great night in Nashville, we wound up barely making it back to the hotel, freezing our butt off, and eating bad pizza, watching the other bowl games on TV, and then wondering how we're going to get back to Tuscaloosa the next day. That was our trip to Nashville, and we had to wait till midday to check out the next day, so the roads would be thawed out enough, and then we licked our wounds and made our ways back to Tuscaloosa. And I don't think, oh yeah, and then the crazy thing was the first game of the next year was at Vanderbilt, and it was an 11:30 kickoff, because back then they had the Jefferson Pilot kickoff, and it was the hottest game I've ever been to in my life at Vanderbilt. for an 11:30 kickoff the next year.
Yeah, you know, now I hadn't looked this up. I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. I think that was the '98 season. That was Mike Dubose, and we got, he just got spanked by Frank Beamer and company. And then in '99, obviously, what's really weird is you're right. Alabama opened up against Vanderbilt, and they go on to win. They lose to Louisiana Tech that year, but they go on to win the SEC championship and play Michigan in the Orange Bowl.
And nowadays, when we're going to playoff games and SEC championship games, and we were looking to see if we're one of the Final Four chosen on Selection Sunday and things like that, you think back to those days, the bowls like that, and all we can do is just laugh and consider them the good old days,
but
or
David,
the bad old days, how you want to think of it.
David, doesn't it make going to bowl games now more special that you went through that? I mean, there's something about those hardships that always makes for a fun time later. In the moment when Alabama's getting killed and you're freezing, your toes are blue, it's probably not great in the third quarter. But now you look back and it's a bowl game you'll always remember, right?
Yes, and Luke, things are changing so quickly in this sport that I don't know if memories will be like that anymore, and I'm hoping I'm wrong about that. But for Andy, I want to say I'm glad you guys are in that bowl game. I know you guys were probably crossing your fingers on Selection Sunday and hoping they didn't put you in that Birmingham Bowl, and I can certainly understand that because as an Alabama fan, I don't ever want it to be anywhere near the Birmingham Bowl. I hope that never happens, but good luck to you guys, and I'll let you guys go.
Thank you, David. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good story.
I remember, look.
I think they blocked a field goal and a punt.
Yeah.
I think they blocked the kickoff.
Look, and the thing about games like that, especially losses, I don't remember them as well because that was a game, 98, I hadn't been out of Alabama but about 3 years, and I remember watching at a former classmate's of mine's house, and they had two apartments near each other, and I just kept going to the other apartment. I'd come back and go, what is happening? How is this so bad? It's hard for me to miss a game, but it was so bad I couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that was bad. But like I said, I remember going to the the Shreveport, but the Poulan Weed Whacker Bowl, and against Oklahoma State, the one we lost. Saban's first year, we went back-to-back years, and the one we lost to Oklahoma State, and we were. My brother and I turned to our friends that were with us and said, let's go. We'll go to the casinos. They got great casinos there, ironically. And as we're leaving, I think Javi Arenas either returned the punt for a touchdown or Andre Smith caught a touchdown pass. We set up a lineman eligible. And my friend was like, Luke, you made us hotel rooms out here on the airport tarmac, and now y'all are making me miss the game so y'all can go gamble. And we're like, yeah, we ended up losing anyway. So.
Yeah, why not? Got to take a break. Don't go anywhere.
I'm not going to sit through a bad movie, y'all. I'm going to get up and go.
We'll be back with one final segment right after this.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours. Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
This fall, nobody beats Martin's Sports Pub for Lake Martin's best sports experience. Martin's all-star lineup of cold beverages and pub fare food can't be beat with the region's best wings, burgers, and signature dishes. At Martin's, you always have the best seat in the house for all college and NFL on our multiple 360-view TV and huge projection screen with surround sound. See our pigskin scoreboard weekly to win big money and let our all-pro teams serve it all to you at the place we all win. Martin's, Highway 34 York, Dadeville.
At Russell Medical, we're proud of our exceptional nurses, like Nurse Brandy Worthy. Brandy represents the selfless, compassionate clinical leader patients expect and coworkers admire. Brandy was recently honored with the Nightingale Award for Nursing Excellence for her high standards, sound judgment, and caring manner. Her passion for her profession inspires us all.
Being a nurse is not just what you do, it's who you are. I'm proud to be a part of the nursing team at Russell Medical. We are the link between all hospital services, providing you with exceptional, personalized care.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of Sports Blitz Live on this Tuesday evening, closing things out here. Worst movie, or have you ever walked out on a movie?
I'll tell you, I don't know if this is the worst, but it was up there in terms of going to the movie. I think it was Lethal Weapon 4, the one with the second one with Joe Pesci, and the one, or maybe in the first one with Joe Pesci. Because I remember a friend of mine told me it was so good, y'all got to go see it. So me and two other buddies went to it. And like we couldn't get anything but the 9 o'clock. And you know, I'm an early to bed guy. And it was like over at 11:48. And I remember at the end of the movie, all the action was done. The plot was done. But there was like 30 minutes of Rene Russo after giving birth to Mel Gibson's baby, where like people were just coming in and bringing presents. I was like, this has nothing to do with it. The movie had already sucked enough. Right. And finally, I said, we got to go. I can't see anybody else bring any more baby warming presents. We got to go. So we left, and I called my friend. I woke her up in the middle of the night. She's like, hello. And I said, don't ever give me a movie suggestion again. It's the worst movie I've ever been to.
Four. Yeah,
it had to be 4.
So, yeah.
Oh, I was so mad.
The only movie the worst movie I've ever been to in a theater was Oscar with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Marissa Tomei, who I love, but it was just so bad. I think I actually fell asleep. It's the only movie I've ever gone to the movies and fell asleep.
You know, on a movie I hated in the movie theater, but it's kind of grown on me since it's on TBS like every other 5 minutes, is Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Really?
I can watch it now that it's on TBS. I remember being in the theater, and like my son was in there. My son was just like fighting to keep his eyes open. I mean, this is an action superhero movie. And he was like, this is terrible. And I said, I know. And I said, I kind of want to go, but if we don't have anything to do at the house, so might as well sit here and eat some popcorn or something. So that's what we did.
At least that was good. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. He's Luke. I'm Andy. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.
Have you met your local Farmers Insurance agent, Patrick Holina? He proudly serves Tallapoosa County and Alexander City families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call the Holina Agency at 256-234-0037 or stop in today at 704 Commerce Drive to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's the Holina Agency, 256-234-0037.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
So you want to build a home? Build the home you want with America's Home Place. Choose from over 150 floor plans, then personalize. Tile backsplash with granite countertops? Done. A spacious bathroom you've always dreamed of? You got it. Choose every detail, floors, cabinets, even the paint color.
How about electric lime?
Can't decide? Relax. At America's Home Place, we take care of it all. It's your home. Own it. America's Home Place.
Truckloads of new and used models. Over 200 on the ground or on the way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Check out the powerful new Chevrolet Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cabs. Discounted up to $12,250 off. The best-selling and well-equipped new Chevrolet Equinox. Discounted up to $6,000 off. Enjoy no payments till springtime.
Get your best price every day at Glenn Smith Chevrolet on the lot or online at glennsmith.com. Get ready to smile.